My master used to say that we have no right to die before we discover happiness. We cannot make that statement to the animals, but we can make that statement to humans. We have gone to the Mars and the moons, and we cannot find the happiness within. And it is only because of the mind. The mind given to us since birth was ignorant. I was not knowing when I was born who am I? And still I do not know who am I. Animals did never ask this question. We have to ask this question. John, am I right? Say yes, even if I'm wrong. so, so you see that. So we have so many questions. What is this universe? How far is the moon? We landed on the moon. We never landed on the peace and happiness. Why we have been doing the same thing again and again and again and expecting a different result. We never ask this question. And I can bet you, once you understand, you contemplate and reflect on this question, that why I'm doing again and again the same thing and expecting a different result. How many times I reacted to my honey? For example, what is the result of reacting to the honey again and again? And still I do not change. John is laughing. I know you are laughing because you are in a different room. so, so you see that you see those questions are not relevant to our life. Other questions, unnecessary questions, are relevant to. Even if I land on the Mars and moons, what is going to happen? The same mind is going to land there. The same attitude will be there. So the journey of the self-discovery is all about changing within. It is okay. Science has brought a lot of application, and in the world, it can you tell me any application or any gadget can give me permanent peace and happiness? Any gadget that can change my attitude, including the latest gadget or latest application, that chat GPT. If you write on the chat GPT, they give you an answer. If I believe you all know it, the recent understanding, recent development and application. So you ask the question and it will answer. When you Google something, you Google what is happiness, you have a 1 million website. So it is a next level of development in chat GPT. You ask that, am I happy? I know that chat GPT will answer, you have been living a life of craziness. I will not give you an answer. We have been living the same life again and again. We do not make a choice where we should have made a choice, where we must make a choice. I like, I'm dating, so, he is good or she is good. And after that, she is bad and he is bad. But who declares that he is bad or she is bad or he is good? It is the mind. We need to understand how the mind brings experiences in my life, and how is it possible to change the mind completely with reference to myself. not with reference to the world outside. World outside, one day Toyota car is better, another day the Honda is better, the third day is something else is better. So I have to understand how this mind, when we are not able to make a choice, or when we are not able to treat the path of how to find the happiness, the animal mind leads us. Animal mind is habitual and impulsive. It says, I will not change, but I want permanent peace and happiness. What I won't change? I won't change my reaction to my those who live near and dear to me. I will continue to blame the situation, condition outside that causes me the suffering. But I will never like to examine if anything in the world can cause me suffering or the happiness. That we need to explore. No, no, I am ready to find the happiness. You guide me. Okay? But before we we learn how the masters guide us, a simple story. There was a master of the music who received two students. One student who has already learnt lot about the music, and the other was purely novice. He didn't know anything, even how to hold on guitar and how to hold on harmonica. So the first student, who has learned for about a year, he said, I will charge you $100 per session per hour. And for the second boy, who didn't know anything, he said, I will charge you $100 only for 25 sessions in a month. 25 hours for $100 for the person who didn't know anything, and the $100 per hour per session for a guy who already learned a lot. Why? Obviously, the first boy asked, then this is crazy. Why you are charging like this? I already know it. Master said, I have to make you unlearn what you have learned. And that is a very difficult task. Your mind will never agree. Your mind will object. Your mind will react. So and the second one, he is a raw, whatever I teach him, he will learn. He will be receptive. He will be aware. You will be habitual. Ask yourself, do you live in happiness? Yes, I live in happiness. I have a lot of money, I have car, and I have honey, and etc., etc. So these thoughts haunts us all the time, subconsciously, habitually. What you are talking of happiness, I'm already living in happiness. It's another matter. Next moment, we react and we are unhappy. We don't think that this being reactive, being upset, is a state of unhappiness. We are so heavily conditioned in our life, we take it easy. I always fight with my honey every day, one or two times. What a big deal. Honey does not mean only husband wife. Anything I'm related to. So, like the young guy who has learned the music for over a year, his mind is already conditioned. So we have to need to look at it where my mind is heavily conditioned. The other guy last week, I just, whenever I'm upset, I take a uh, I take a can of beer or a bottle of beer, so if it doesn't go, I take the second. I take the second. I said, that is your addiction. No, no, but it gives me pleasure. So I don't want to understand. So why it takes long time to become a seeker? Because the mind is so much habituated, so much heavily conditioned, looking for peace and happiness outside in the world where it is not. It takes time. But it only takes time if I take the first step and I start working on it. So where to start? So the master says we need to continue listening and learning. Listening and learning. After that, contemplation and reflection is very important. What is contemplation and reflection? I have to think along the line of these principles. I have to think along the line of the physics how to create a mouse. How simple it is. So it is very challenging in the very beginning, but if we do it, the mind begins to change. Otherwise, if the mind does not change, then we will continue to challenge where is peace and happiness. Always never forget the story of these two boys going to the master. One is already trained, one who claims, I know and I understand. And master brushed aside, you don't understand, that's why you have come to learn to me. In the same line, try just when the Buddha says world is suffering, what do you mean by it? How my mind receives that. I can bet you after the session, the same mind will become busy in the same thing. It will start doing the same thing again and again because we forget these principles to apply in our life. Why we forget to these principles to apply in our daily living? After and after the session, the mind will say again, returning back to the same old story. Do I really understand? Do I really realize that the world outside is a suffering? So what does it mean that the world what consists of the room and the place, location and objects and the gadgets and the people I'm related to, are they suffering? Is my honey suffering? So the master says you are wrong. Unlearn. What I have to unlearn? First, tell me what is your world. So I created the world around me with my preferences, with my likes and dislikes. The world as it is outside, home, my house, my walls and bricks are not responsible for my stress and suffering. The phone is not responsible for my stress and suffering. That is also a part of the world. So, what is the word? Where I added an adjective prefix, my honey, I have a problem. My phone, I have a problem. My phone, I have a problem. So, wherever I have created me and the my. That world is the cause of the suffering. The world as such, the nature and the world, whatever we say, it is not the cause of the suffering. Oh, my boss is crazy. That world I have created, it is my boss. My perception. My perception means my mental perception. It means mind is habituated. I have to drop that habituation. So those who learn the Eastern wisdom, the very first lesson from today, if my mind reacts, gets agitated, have a feeling of insecurity, have a feeling of dissatisfaction, and a sense of unhappiness in relationship to the world, I will drop that. Just see how long it takes you to drop that. So 50% of my problems are already gone. I have stopped blaming and complaining. And the rest 50% belongs to my mind, what is the cause of that reaction? What is the cause of that idea in my mind that outside a person or a situation or a condition is responsible for my suffering? Once we explore, we find it is not. The mind is empty. That is what the Buddha says. Mindfulness is nothingness and emptiness. You don't add my with me. So you have no problem with me. Everyone is laughing. How can you be a problem? Because you are not my honey. My honey is a problem. That is an unlearning. That is what I told you a story. I believe you all are getting it. So what should I do with my honey? No, you have to do with your mind. That my, remove that my. When you remove the my, it means you are destroying the world that you have created in your mind. I did not say destroy your honey. People will sue me, otherwise. So we have a wrong understanding. No, you have to tell me, okay, I understand that. So your mind says, I understand that, but then what should I do? How I should proceed? How I should proceed? So the first thing that I think, did I discuss? I don't know. Science aims at truth, first thing. And so the Eastern wisdom aims at the truth. Science aims at the truth in the material world. Eastern wisdom aims at the truth in the internal world, about me. Again, make it simple. Science says, what is the truth in this material world? What is the material world? I am not the material world. What the Eastern wisdom goal? Goal of the Eastern wisdom is to know who am I. Eastern wisdom says, let me find out who am I. Science says, let me find out what is moon and Mars. Is there a life on the moons and Mars? It is not going to change my attitude. But when I say, who am I examine all my attitude and behavior, my responses. Ultimately, it is going to change me. Even in the future, science discovers a phone who can detect if your honey is lying or not. It will not change you. No, example I'm saying. So again, understand, I'm saying honey means with whom I'm related to. My, me, and mine. Sophie has raised her hand. So yes, let me take up the question. She has many interesting questions. So
I shouldn't say my master then.
Obviously, you should not be attached to the master. How can you get attached to the knowledge? That is one answer, simple answer. But when you have already understand in a language, even if you say my master, it doesn't make any difference to you because you are already wise. Now you are using my master, my honey, with the wisdom. So there is no problem. You cannot have another phrase in the English language. Third answer. Third answer is the real answer. The problem is this. I told you that two story of two boys. What is the third answer? In your mind, you are clear about what is real, what is false, and what is unreal. Third answer is the real answer. So whether you say my master, my honey, my money, it doesn't make any difference if you know how to discern, how to drop that false and how to live with the real. Should I go little more deeper with the fourth answer? The master in instant wisdom is known as Guru. Guru is a Sanskrit word. It is made up of two syllables. That is the beauty of learning the Eastern wisdom. Guru literally means moving from ignorance to wisdom. So even if I say my master, it does not personify an individual. Did you understand that? So you take the first definition, journey is very long. You take the fourth definition, journey starts from here. We say buck starts from here. Yes. How do I perceive the world? My perception depends on my mind. If mind is pure, I will take the fourth definition. Mind is impure, I will argue this guru is right, that guru is wrong. So there are many gurus. There is only one knowledge. There is only one ignorance. Did you get it? Say yes. Can I live with that awareness all the time? Then only I am a seeker. That is why what we are doing, if you say outside that I am a teacher, what I am doing? I am using the verse and I am explaining to it. These verses are highly compressed folders. It contains hundreds of files. That is why in the Eastern wisdom says it is a master and a seeker tradition. The seeker has to learn from a teacher who is teaching from the text. Why I cannot directly learn from the text, it will not make any sense. You will misunderstand. The way your question comes from that misunderstanding. My master. Now you say my. Now you say my master converts into my moving from ignorance to wisdom. Where is an individual? That my ignorance is everybody's ignorance who is suffering. My knowledge is one universal knowledge. This is what it is. So now how to learn? I believe that we have to understand this. I will tell you by another story. How many stories I have? 1,000,000. That is how people, masters in Eastern wisdom, why we tell a story, a parable, because it helps me to understand clearly the concept and the principles. So there were two diamond merchants. They were very close. Very close. So the son of one diamond merchant, one diamond merchant died, and then he went in to open the safe. Diamond merchant told the son that whenever I die, first thing you need to do it is open the safe and find out. I have kept something for you. He opened the safe, he opened the box. He find two objects. One object glittering like a diamond, very glittering. Huh? And the other object, is normal. It appears as a piece of a glass, like a prism, plus a message. The message was handwritten. The handwritten message says that because you have wasted your entire life, because I gave you a lot of money to spend on unnecessary things, you have to go to my friend, means another diamond merchant, to find out the value of these two objects. So one object, we have a proverb, all that glitters is not gold. So one object was glittering. So he said, this must have a real value. That's why my father told me to find the value. So he went to another diamond merchant. Diamond merchant said, I will not tell you the value. I will train you how to examine any object that is glittering, whether it is diamond or not. I will train you how to find the value, and then you are sure that you know the value directly. Instead, I say it. Son agreed. Son learned the art of diamond polishing and training and evaluating for a year. Diamond merchant said, then now bring that box with the two objects. Go into the lab. Find the value. Tell me. So that diamond merchant is a master. He has to say yes or no. So he went there, examined and returned. He said that the object that is so glittering so much, it has no value. It does not even cost a penny, even though it is glittering. Why? It is a piece of glass. And the other object has yet to be polished. It is a real diamond. It cost $10 million. Ask yourself how the son is able to evaluate. So once I am able to evaluate my life, whether it has a value or it has no value, that is the journey of becoming a seeker. If I am not a seeker, means now that son is a qualified seeker. You give him anything, he will find out. Where is the value? Have you seen the porn star? It's known as porn. I'm not talking of porn star. Already that issue, that news was there in a flash. When you go there, you find, oh, this has a value. So I have to find the value of myself. We belittle ourselves. We say, I'm already suffering in my life. I don't find the value that I'm a human being. I am of the nature of peace and happiness. I have to discover that. That I do not find in my life. I do not even say it. I do not even think of it. Two friends meet and one friend says, just say my honey. And the other, the moment he says, oh, my honey, and the other friend starts the story. They spend hours together. They become good friends. But each one's honey has a problem. No one is ready to stop. Are you getting it? What I'm saying? We don't have that intellect which says, no, I'm not ready to listen. Keep your honey with yourself. Not ready to listen. Provided if you appreciate, it means your mind is in order. Oh, honey, I said, any object, anything in the world. You see, the way I started, that I have no right to die before I find the happiness, but I find happiness in criticizing, in blaming, in complaining, and reacting. And that comes from the world that I have created by adding my. You remove my, and 50% of your challenges are gone. Then my mind is ready to listen. It is aware. It is ready to respond. One guy told me, now suppose. I said, don't suppose, you be a factual. So he said, if my honey is really crazy, what should I do? I said, from where this thought of craziness has come to? It is coming from your mind. Your honey is not talking to me. Can you drop that craziness? Are you understanding that point? My mind has created a perception of the world that I'm speaking to. So unless I understand that it is happening in my mind, which created a wrong perception about the world in which I live outside, that word is Buddha says the world is suffering. Buddha does not say this nature, this flora and the fauna and the people and the invention and the discovery and the application and the technology is suffering. No. So it starts from the mind, and I have to see how to change that perception that makes me a seeker. And once I am a seeker, then we are bound to attain. Close your eyes. Let us start our journey of peace and happiness practically. Now see that we will implement eyes are closed, and I say a simple thing to you. What a simple thing I say to you. That eyes are closed gently. Do not strain your eyelids. If you strain your eyelids, then that is a big problem. And you are comfortable. Who knows that you are comfortable? Your mind. And if the mind keeps on changing, what is changing? Changing its position, you are not comfortable, and still you say you are comfortable. That is your honey. That is the problem. And still we first think the position of the body and eyes are closed. So how it will happen instantly if I'm awake and aware? That's a little bit deeper principle, but I'm using that. I used that today in the early morning session. I'm awake in a waking state, but I'm aware in a waking state or not. Or I'm still guided by the mind that leaves you uncomfortable, unease during the entire day, mood swing, upset, etc., etc. That is why I always gave with a different meaning in a sense. The first step is being comfortable. And in being comfortable, I always say, you learn every time a new practice, even with the same step. I say, look at the neck joint, that I always say. So neck joint, it is a physical awareness. And then I say, experience, sensation, comfort, and steadiness. It is a subtle awareness. So what we are doing, we are making the mind subtle. You experience the sensation, comfort, and steadiness. I can say it is intangible. And when you say neck joint, it is tangible. It is an object with a name and a form. So when I say move the mind within, basically you are moving the mind. That means you rise in awareness. We cannot use any other language. Language is linear. So every time I add something, it is pointing to a new level of awareness. Then after sensation, comfort, and steadiness, look into the space. So you say, I don't see the space. Do you see the darkness? Yes, that is okay. Do you see the sense of emptiness? That is okay. You see the sense of blankness? That is okay. It is further rise in awareness. So it is not blankness that is important. What is important is a rise in awareness is important. I told you that is why it takes a time, because our mind is habituated with the physical awareness only. I believe you all got it. Look at the shoulder joints, be there. Again, you see physical. Then we move deeper, sensation, comfort, and steadiness. It deeper means it is subtle awareness. Deeper means it is a rise in awareness. We do not fall in awareness. But normally, in the beginning, we fall in awareness because the mind starts thinking of something other than what we are doing now. Then the space. Look at the entire body. Body is physical. When we say look at the body mentally. But now we experience sensation, comfort, and steadiness. That is rise in awareness. No, but if I experience the pain, it is fall in awareness. I know, your mind may ask me. I've answered. So now in being comfortable, so we will, why I say being carefree? Because it is the mind says, I am at unease. How it says, by thought plus the feeling. Thought plus the feeling. Am I right? Think of this. So it means what? Unwanted. That is why I said unwanted thoughts, unwelcome thoughts, and plus the feeling. Add the thoughts plus feeling plus so called emotion, whatever you want to add. And I already gave you a tip. Do you still remember any time during the day, not only in the practice? What is that? Lane 1. Do you remember 1? Lane 1, unwanted, unwelcome thoughts. You switch to the lane number 2. What is there? Intellect. What intellect says? It says and knows. It says and knows there is unwanted, unwelcome thoughts. The moment your intellect says, or I would say even think of it. In meditation, do you think? Yes. So when you know, feel, and aware or think that, oh, these are unwanted thoughts, so the moment you declare it, these are unwanted, unwelcome thoughts by your own mind, you have already separated them. The moment you separate, your mind jumps to lane number 3. What is the lane number 3? It is calmness and peace. You already made it separate. This journey, this subtle awareness takes time. But it takes time only when you apply this in your daily life. You wake up in the morning, you look at the honey, you had a fight yesterday, and the unwanted welcome thought comes in the lane 1, but you welcome in peace and happiness and the smile. Is that possible? I can give you millions of such examples. Every practice has its application in the in the world to drop the wrong notion, to declare the world is suffering. I am dropping this world which I have created in my life. But it doesn't happen. Why it doesn't happen? I have to keep on, continue the journey. Once you pick up what is going to happen, then your mind is so much interested in picking up and using the same tool again and again. Now you are repeating the principle again and again. That is going to, then your mind says, I will expect today a different result, and you will. I can bet you. But if it doesn't happen, then I told you, we replace what we replace. We replace the thought. We don't fight with the unwanted, unwelcome thoughts of reaction, blame, but we replace it with the mantra. Sarve bhavantu sukhina. I am saying, Surve bhavantu sukhina. I am peace. Let everyone be happy. And I have already repeated. Do you start thinking the same way I am thinking? And if it is wrong, drop it. What I am thinking, let everyone be happy. That is the English translation. Happiness is our essential nature of every human being, not only of human being, but happiness is the essential nature of every living species, including my honey at home and outside, the people and the friends and the relation. Can I be happy? Can I be happy by being unhappy? Means what? Can I be happy by fighting with anyone? By reacting? Answer is, you already know the answer. So I will not do it. Others are doing, let them do it. I have settled in that principle. Sarve bhavantu sukhina, sarve santu niramaya. Let everyone be in the state of well-being. It is not only the physical well-being. What matters more is the emotional and the mental well-being. I take charge of myself in daily living. That is well-being. But well-being is already there. The state of well-being is already there within me, and everyone is seeking the same. So even if one is fighting with me, so I have a responsibility to respond with that state of the well-being. If one is fighting, I will withdraw, I will remain calm. I'm telling about the boy who was trained to find, to examine, to know the value of our life. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. Let everyone be blessed. So the blessing, I'm living today. This is a great blessing. The existence is a grace upon me. That's why I'm alive today. What other blessing and a grace I want? You know, what other blessing and grace I want in my life? That creates the me world and the my world. I want my honey should be like this. I want this much of this. I want that much of this. Constantly, mind is demanding. The demanding mind is always full of sorrow. Ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhave. Ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhave. Let none suffer from misery in this world. Why I am saying it's a kind of a prayer. Yes, even if you take it as a prayer, it is a prayer. So when I say none should suffer from any misery, any suffering in the world, where my mind is going? A sense of kindness and calmness, a sense of self-giving begins. What is opposite of it? Selfishness. Why do I have an unwanted, unwelcome thoughts? Because of an extreme selfishness. Whether you agree with me or not, you have to examine and prove it that it is wrong. So we have replaced it. After replacing, we can go ahead another set of purification, but today we are not going. We see that whether we move to subtle awareness or not, or it is a rise in awareness or not, how you see that it looks so simple. Look at the head and the neck. Look at the head and the neck. Very good. Be there. So that is physical. And from the physical, I say experience, sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Look inside. So look inside means again the rise. Rise and look inside means you feel the calmness and a sense of quietness is there. Thought may be there, but now these thoughts are too far from you to disturb your calmness and quietness. You are sitting on a sea beach and looking into the horizon. Lot of people, you don't hear their noise. So the chattering mind goes too far. You still feel a sense of quietness. That is what I am saying in this step. But it is given in a very simple way. Look at the right arm. Be there. Experience sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Look inside the calmness and quietness. This is what I have been, my essence of teaching. How you take it depends on your mind. Look at the left arm. Be there. Feel sensation, comfort, and sensation, relaxation, and stillness. 100,000 people in the horizon, you see them are jumping around, but you are not listening what they are saying. Why? You are looking at the horizon where the sky and the earth meet. It's too far. Meaning is too far. They are there. They may be there, they may not be there, but I am in the state of calmness and quietness, no issues. Middle portion of the body, physical, and then experiences sensation, relaxation, and stillness, and then calmness and quietness. Calmness and quietness in the midst of unwanted and unwelcome thoughts. Now they are too far. When they are too near, they affect me. They make me uncomfortable. They make me uneasy. You are doing it. You are understanding it. You are realizing it. Right leg sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Sensation, relaxation, and stillness, and calmness and quietness. Left leg. Sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Again, I have to use the same word. Language is linear. There is no way to talk about multidimensional consciousness. That is what we are. Calmness and quietness. The entire body, sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Calmness and quietness. This calmness and quietness is not produced, not created, not a part, property, and a product of your body and the mind. It is always there. What veils it? My world, which I claim is suffering. The unwanted, unwelcome thoughts veils it, covers it, is a curtain. You see, I'm using the same steps, but gave you a deeper understanding, my friend. Now simply look at the breath going in and out, going in and out. Every time the breath goes in, Shanto hum. Every time the breath comes out, Shanto hum. No change in the rate and the rhythm of the breath. Now do nothing, remain as you are. You are in a state of doing nothing. So that you realizes here and now that you is neither a doer nor an experiencer. You are different from it. You have already realized the highest state. When you realize that highest state, it cannot be reversed. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes, understand and know your experiences. Bring the hands down. We'll share the experiences. Why we share the experiences? So that we can understand what the mind revealed today. So that is your property. That is your understanding. Yes, John, how are you?
Hey, Girish, I'm fine. I very much appreciate this state of doing nothing. That's great.
Very good. You see that? That is what happens. That is what I have been telling you. We invoke the teacher, invoke the principle, and it directly hits your mind. So that is an understanding. But if that understanding lives with you all the time, job is done. Beautiful. So, how are you, Sophie?
I am very good, Girish. Thank you. I didn't fall asleep,
Good.
but sometimes I just didn't, how to say that. I could hear your voice, but I was not hearing what you were saying.
Yeah. So that indicates that the mind is too far from the world outside. The world means the world of chattering, the world that creates the suffering, it is too far. So we have a feeling, we have an idea that we are listening and still not listening. It means I'm not attached to that. So we have to pick up that moment of non-attachment. Or if I say we have to pick up that moment of dispassion. If it lives all the time, job is done.
Thank you.
How are you, Mead?
I feel that I'm coming home.
Very good.
Through this time with all of you and your words, I allowed my computer to take over my life this week, and it was very unpleasant.
Very unpleasant, yes.
I realized I just need to come home.
Yes.
And back to where we are.
Yes, you picked up a good example. We have to ask, is the computer conscious enough to know that I will make Mead crazy? Answer is big no.
No.
So where is the problem? Because it is the problem of ignorance. It is the problem of ignorance. It is the problem of not knowing. This mouse is a dead entity. It is not conscious. It does not know me. It does not know others. It does not know itself. So whether this mouse goes to your home or my home, it doesn't make any difference. So if the computer hangs down hardly once in a month, our mind hangs down every day. We have to correct that.
Mm.
We have to correct that. Do you see the amount and the gravity of the problem? That my mind declares that computer is a conscious entity and it makes me crazy.
Yes.
That is what the ignorance is.
That is.
And that has created my own world. So we have to remove that ignorance. How are you, Charlie?
Hello, I'm good.
Orangish room.
Yes.
Oh, good.
And Mo. he always sits on my knee when we do the meditation. He just comes and plops himself down. I felt very calm. I heard your words. I wasn't trying and I wasn't learning per se. I was just present. It was very interesting this week. I wanted to share with you guys. I drove down to stay with some friends in Delaware, and the route that I took put me past Philadelphia, and I hate driving past Philadelphia. I find it really scary driving past there. And I found myself getting tense, and people drive really badly there. And I was like, oh. And I thought, oh, Girish has been talking to us about lanes of traffic. I'm going to put myself in the second lane of traffic, where it's everybody does their thing around me, but I'm just in my lane of traffic. So all I have to do is focus on right here and right now. And that was good, but it wasn't quite enough. So I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to breathe, and I'm going to drop some Shanto hums. They were a bit all over the place because I was still a bit stressed, but I was going, I'm in lane 2, Shanto hum, Shanto hum, Shanto hum. And then a car in front of me swerved out, and there was a chair on the road right in front of me. And I was like, oh, Shanto hum, woo, and then came back. But it was just having that image, because I put myself in lanes of traffic, and I'm like, all right, I'm in this lane of traffic. It's going to get me past Philadelphia. I'm going to be all right. Just concentrate on that. Don't think about other people around you. Well, a little bit because I'm driving, but that really helped.
That really helped. You see that? Yes, you are aware that other crazy people driving, they are in a lane 1, and I have to do nothing. So I have to remain aware of that. We need
Right.
an aware. Aware means I know what is happening in the lane 1. But I'm not a part of the lane 1. Same thing happens with unwanted thoughts, and that is how the mind should remember and recall these principles in daily life. That makes one a seeker, and that changes. Otherwise, 1 hour lesson, okay. I heard Sophie already declared that you are not my master. So, so who cares? So I am also at ease, Thank God that you declared that I am not your master. So I'm okay with it. We are 100% okay with it. So that is another way that your mind strikes, it recalls that those principles in your daily living, and it starts living into it. So why you did not reach to the higher state? Because the mind was in a dilemma. It was remembering the lane 1 and lane 2. But if it is you are not in a dilemma, means now I'm settled in the lane 2. Whatever people are doing, let them do it. It has nothing to do with me. Suddenly an unwanted thought comes and we are excited. That is how a car just came in front of you. That is at the physical level. But what happens at the mental level? The mental and the emotional level causes more problems. Rightly said. That is wonderful way to correlate. That is all for today. Thank you very much. We will meet again.